So let's talk about Venom: The Last Dance. Listen, I was not a huge fan of Venom or Venom Let There Be Carnage, with Venom Let There Be Carnage being a big letdown for me. I did not love that movie at all. But I gotta say, weirdly enough, I'm back here for Venom: The Last Dance, and out of the three, I like it the most, actually. There are some things to really enjoy. So in this installment, Venom and Eddie have to stop Knull from coming back and taking over the world. His Venom hunters, or excuse me, his symbiote hunters are out to get Venom, and they have to team up in order to take these things out. And it is the last dance between these two. And let me tell you guys, I really actually had a good time here. It's weird that I'm hesitating to say I like it a lot, because I won't say that, but I did like it the most out of the three, and I was pleasantly entertained. I mean, to be completely honest with you, Eddie and Venom are at their peak with the bromance, guys. Like, they have the chemistry nailed down. Like, they're calling each other funny names like Thelma and Louise. Like, there's so much camaraderie between the two, and they are so comfortable with one another that it makes it extremely enjoyable whenever they're on screen together. I'm like, yo, Tom Hardy seems like he's having a lot of fun. And you could tell through the way that these two banter back and forth, whether it's like a couple or like best friends, they just have that banter established with one another, and it works so well for what they're trying to do here. And I gotta give it to the Venom movies. Even though I don't like the first two, I will say it knows how to appeal to its audience, and this movie is proof that it knows who it's working with. It's got the popular songs, it's got the funny quips and jabs. Venom and Eddie are just doing ridiculous things, and it works. It really works, and their chemistry, easily the best thing of the movie. Like, their banter and them two together, the best. Juno Temple and Rhys Ifans are welcome additions to this movie too. Rhys Ifans especially knows what movie he's in, but Juno Temple is just a welcome addition to the film. I think she fits right into the story, and I think that for what it's worth, she did a great job. I really liked her being on screen with these other characters, and I think she's really good in the film. She has some moments in there that I won't spoil, but I actually want to see that character again. And while I love Chiwetel Ejiofor, I will say his character, I do like him as an actor. I just think his character and that whole plot drags at times, but I'll get to that a little bit later. Let's stay on the positive for now. Visual effects in this movie. Wow, a step up. I don't know about Venom 2. Venom 1, y'all remember that battle at night in Venom 1 where we could barely see anything? It was like, okay, Riz Ahmed, symbiote, and Venom going head to head. That was just way too much. You could not see anything. The goop was all over the place. Here, they have really figured that out and have figured out how to make it actually visually appealing in the battle scenes. There are some really good battle scenes here, and the symbiotes look awesome. Like, I gotta admit, I really like the visual effects this time around. The symbiote hunters, Knull, all of these things looked really good, actually. I was impressed with what I saw, especially Knull. I think Knull looks fantastic. Yes, I'm gonna say it. He looked great. I thought Knull looked awesome, and I saw online that there was a comment that he looked like Morbius Light, and I don't know that I can quite agree with that, but man, there are just some welcome things about this movie that really help this movie stand out as the best one for me. It has entertainment value, it looks good, you got great banter between Eddie and Venom, but I can't quite say this movie is a well-made film. I think it's entertaining. I enjoyed myself for the hour and some change, hour 30, I think it's hour 50. It really entertained me throughout, and I really enjoyed it. There's some good action sequences as well, and there's a shot in the trailer of Venom riding a motorcycle that looked really awesome in the movie too. There's just some really cool visuals here, but I gotta say, whoo, that script was rough. There are some dialogue exchanges that just sound pretty juvenile in my opinion, where it's just like, man, we're just trying to move the plot along. And speaking of the plot, holy crap, there are scenes that just go through exposition dump after exposition dump after exposition dump. Like, there is a ton of exposition in this movie, and that's one thing that I think takes away from this stepping up in terms of being a good movie. it just has so much exposition. There's so much explaining they're doing for like 15 to 20 minutes. Sometimes they're just explaining thing after thing after thing. This person's past, that person's past. It's like, whoo, y'all are beating me over the head with this exposition. So I think that really drags things down. And there's the Venom and Eddie plot, and they're on a road trip trying to get to New York. And then there is another plot going on with the scientists, who is led by Juno Temple and Chiwetel Ejiofor. I hope I'm saying his name right. I really hope so. But his character and her character are kind of working together on opposite sides of the fence, where he's a part of the military and she's a scientist, and they're trying to figure out more and more about the symbiotes. And it's so, like, that plot right there, in my opinion, really like derails us from the fun. Like, it's like, okay, you've got this fun, goofy, jokey back and forth going on over on Venom and Eddie's side, along with Knull's creatures hunting them, and then you've got them trying to figure out the symbiotes and figure out about Knull through the lens of Juno Temple's character. And man, that plot just drags sometimes. Like, that's where all the exposition happens, and it feels weird, because it feels like, okay, we've got two different tones going on here, and it can be a little jarring at times. And I will say, pacing wise, it's weird to say that the B plot that I talked about, the scientists figuring out about the symbiotes, it feels like those scenes drag, and then the Venom and Eddie stuff is like going super, super quick. And so when both of the plot lines eventually do collide, it works well again. But it just is weird to have one plot that's just like at this hurry up pacing, and then another plot where, okay, we're dragging, scenes are dragging out, the exposition is dragging. It just feels a little jarring at times. But all in all, guys, I will say, out of the three, I enjoyed this one. I can't quite say I really liked it, or wow, I loved it or anything. I like this one. It's weird to say it. I hate to say it almost, because I did not like those first two, but this one I found enjoyable. I had fun. Am I gonna go back and watch the other two plus this one? Probably not. Am I gonna give this one more watch? Probably not, but I liked it, and I thought it was entertaining. What it provided, the value it provided to me, the entertainment portion of it was awesome. And I think, like I said earlier in the video, this movie nails its audience the most out of any of these Sony Spider-Verse movies. You have all these movies trying to be like serious and take themselves seriously, like Madam Web and Venom 1, but this one, it knows who its audience is. It knows they like the goofy Eddie Venom banter, and I wish maybe we had got more of that than we did the science plot and stuff. Oh, and Rhys Ifans and his family, hilarious addition to this movie. They're just like trying to see aliens, and it's just such a welcome addition. And Rhys Ifans, man, seriously does a great job as the father of his family. But y'all gotta let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Are you looking forward to Venom: The Last Dance? And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time on Geekly Goods.